This is on? Okay. First of all, I'd like to apologize for turning this a little late. Got called in for work last minute and didn't anticipate I would be out this late for work. I never usually am. And second of all, if I'm speaking really low, it's because it's really late and everybody in the house is sleeping. And they're probably going to think, what is this girl doing talking to herself? Or who's she talking to this late or early in the morning? Um, I want to start off with week 7. I want to go over uh, chapter 3 and um, I'll choose question 2. Question 2 says, why is it important to have clear understanding of your vision and the program goals and objectives for your FLE program before assessing the FLE program? I find it important to have a clear understanding of my vision and the program goals and objectives for my FLE program because you need to come to a central point on these things. You are able to better identify what you want to accomplish with your vision and program goals and objectives for your end result. You cannot go about making things up as you go because the better prepared you are, the better positive feedback from your clients you will get. I don't just mean that they will say your program is the best. No. In order to be the best, you need to really care about your program and about your clients. What better way to be the best is to work with everyone in your program and that's involved in your program and make sure that you all share the same vision and understanding. It won't be easy, but working together to meet halfway will get you better results with the program, the clients, and the people involved with the program. Um, so yeah, I mean, and to have a vision, set goals, set that mind to certain certain goals. They'll never, you know, they'll never. What's the word I'm looking for? Um, they'll never go in clear with the mind clear. You always have to have. You have to be prepared. Basically, like as they saying, the saying goes, have something up your sleeve, not just bake it up. Like be prepared. It's not always gonna be just plan B. Make a plan C, D, E, F, whatever it takes to be the best, um to do whatever to succeed at your vision and your goals and your objectivity and everything. Um for week 8, I would like to go over actually because there's several questions in this one. Um I'll go over question 1. How can the FLA Code of Ethics strengthen your practice and the relationship with those whom you teach? The FLA Code of Ethics is strengthening my practice and relationship with those whom I teach because I need to be able to separate my professionalism from my personal life. It is not always going to be easy hearing the different things. Sorry, hearing the different things that go on with our clients, but we need to make sure we are always working professionally without letting personal feelings get in the way or being swayed by our own personal problems. Once you walk into a session with your client, you need to go in with a fresh mind and leave all your personal stuff going on in your life at home or not passing through that door. The FLE Code of Ethics also helps me to understand what to do professionally wise and how I can better help my clients in whatever situation that they may be going through. Um, I would also like to answer question 2. What specific principles capture your intention and why? To me, the specific principles that captured my attention were relationship with children and youth, because even though my job would be to help the family as a whole, my main concern will always come towards the children and the youth of the family. It is important to me that they are in a safe home and environment where they receive the love and care for that is needed for them. Another principle that captured my attention was relationships with colleagues and profession. Because one, I don't want to be stepping on toes, so to speak, nor do I want to be in any of my colleagues' bad side. I find it important to maintain a healthy and friendly relationship with all my colleagues, and if any difference may ever come up, that we will be civilized about talking them out rationally. I also find it important the need to maintain a professional role in my work environment at all times. Um, sorry, I think I just heard my mom. Um, Next, I'd like to go over number 5. Um, Question number 5. How do you approach working with someone who has very different, even contradicting values from your own? It may not always be easy to work with someone who has very different and even contradicting values from my own, but it does not mean they are mission impossible. Even if they don't want to take your advice or help into consideration, letting them know about your side will not hurt, and it certainly won't hurt them to listen to what you have to say, and vice versa. This world isn't perfect, and even if you got them to agree halfway, I think that is doing great work. Some people will be easier to approach because they will have the same kind of thinking as yourself and others. Or with others, it will take more work and time. But being patient and trying your hardest, I believe, will help you get them to share the same values as yourself, or at least open up a new perspective, or at least open up a new perspective for them. For the second part of that same week, um, I would also like to go over question. Um, I have a hard time deciding 7 or 8. I think I'll go with 7. It says, in the first complete paragraph on page 193, Palm explained that there are 2 different approaches to ethics. 1, mandatory ethics. 2, aspiration ethics. As stated, the aspiration ethics approach encourages individuals to be sensitive to the effects for their intervention on the welfare of others. They strive to follow a set of ideal standards in their practice. Then, Palm went on to state that the Code of Ethics for Family Life Educators was designed in the spirit of aspiration ethics versus mandatory ethics. How does this sensitivity to effects? How does this sensitivity to the effects of one's interventions on the welfare of others create a higher standard than what mandatory ethics may provide, which tends to merely specify a code of moral conduct? Sorry. You know, it's never easy separating your own feelings with your professional feelings when it comes to these kind of careers. But it needs to get done because if you let your personal feelings get in the way, it can affect those who you are trying to teach or help. There is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with to put in your own professional output of things, but never try to guide a person into doing things your way or persuading them to do the opposite of things. Professional ethics are not asking us to stop having a heart or being sensitive, in their situations, but it is important not to get emotional. Can you imagine if you're in the middle of teaching or in a session, once you are a professional and you start to cry along your participant or client, That to me I would think is quite unprofessional. I know I'm quite sensitive, but over the years I have learned to separate my personal feelings and emotions and just learn to sit, listen, and help. And I know in the long run, this will help me professionally in my future career. Um, and lastly, for week 9, I will go over question 3. What is your role and responsibility in working with families as FLE? If you had to choose 3 words that best describe the role of my role and responsibilities in working with families in FLE is to be able to provide the necessary help and tools for families seeking it. I'm responsible to make sure the family is there voluntarily and not by force, and that none of them are in any kind of danger. I'm responsible for serving the families and especially the children and youth. To be effective in this work, we must first understand families who are diverse in any ways such as culture, sexual orientation, economic status, work, religious beliefs, and composition. Also, single parent families, families of divorce, blended families, extended families, homeless families, migrant families, and gay and lesbian families represent some of these diversities in families that are worked that are worked with as professionals. 3 words that best describe the role of LE would be strong communication skills, good decision making skills, and healthy interpersonal. And that would be the final of my outline. I hope you enjoy this video and sorry about the speaking low and again for turning in late. Bye guys.